Have you ever been to Tanzania before? Let's talk about Tanzania. Here's Tanzania on the map. It's a lovely place, beautiful people, really, really nice. It's one of those destinations that a lot of Africans right now are discovering. Very nice, whether you want to go to Dar es Salaam and have everyday life or go to Zanzibar for more kind of beach type of lifestyle. It's all up to you. I really suggest that you go check Tanzania out. It's very nice. Okay, whether you are African on the continent, or you are African American or Caribbean, Tanzania is a very, very nice place to visit. Matter of fact, a lot of African Americans are exploring Africa, are going to either Tanzania or Ghana. It's very nice, very interesting. The food is great, the people are kind. It's a peaceful place, usually. One of the most peaceful democracy, if I may say. Some people get very upset when you say that because they don't feel like the democratical march is being followed. And that's what we're going to check right now. So Tanzania is a very lovely country. It's a very nice place. And it's very sad because a few days ago, some bad things really happened in Tanzania. The election happened and a lot of people lost their lives. And it's very sad because it's being reported and things are showing up to be not exactly what we thought. Tanzania has a brand new president. This lady right here, she is a new president, but in fact, she was the president before she became president. So in other words, she won the elections again. Now, there's a lot of people that doubting this result. They're saying that the election wasn't correct, that it was rigged. They say it was filled with undemocratic processes, and it's not me saying it. We're going to try to find out what people are saying out there. First of all, we're going to go to the African Union. This is the African Union. It's the union that brings all African nations together. They had a few things to say about Tanzania. The African Union declared the election non-compliant with democratic principles. Again, this is not me saying, this is the African Union saying. They called out ballot stuffing, internet shut down. Like, why do you shut down the internet? I'm just asking. Why is it necessary? Well, some people believe that it is necessary to control the people so they don't organize and do criminal activities. Some people believe that it is a violation of human rights. Why would you shut down the internet? Yes, negative and criminal things could be organized during such difficult time. Now, what about people that have power that can overstep the ruling of their power and overuse it over the people? Couldn't that be used as well as an opportunity to blind the world to what's happening? Let me know how you feel about that. The African Union also called on politically motivated abductions. Well, is that true? I don't know. Now, if people have been abducted for the right reason, which could be sometimes stealing, looting, because let's be honest, unfortunately, in many African countries, you will see people marching for the right cause. Then they end up starting to do things that are inappropriate. You see that all over the place. Let me give you a simple example. There was a time in South Africa, KwaZulu-Natal, look on the map. People marched to defend Jacob Zuma, who was about to be sent to jail for some cause. Initially, their marching was justified because they wanted to protect the leader. But later on, they went into malls and started stealing and looting and burning things at malls. Is that acceptable? No, it's not. Now, is this what's happened in Tanzania that could have justified the authorities to abduct or arrest people? Question mark. Zack is also not happy. This is Zack right here. Zack reported intimidation, disqualification of opposition leaders, and media censorship. Again, this is not me saying, this is what Zack says. They said there was intimidation of people, disqualification of who? Opposition leaders. So in other words, Samia, this lady right here, disqualified many of the oppositions, or at least the major known, reputable opposition. Now, when you disqualify people that are big, that have a reputation, you somehow put yourself in a position of winning. That's what people feel. The European Union also spoke. They called the election reforms to improve fairness and transparency, noted gaps in the legal institutional framework. So European feels like the election wasn't fair. Are they correct or not? Well, the government of Tanzania has responded, and they said they maintain that the election was peaceful, transparent, with citizens exercising their constitutional right. Well, peaceful, I'm not 100% sure about that. We've seen some videos that, I don't know about the peaceful part. Can we say those were very isolated incidents where people are shouting, burning, marching, being arrested? We don't know if it was just, it could perhaps just be some isolated situation, but well, you let us know if you're in Tanzania. In a sub-region, the Zimbabwean Vice Minister said something that's not very, very nice. The Zimbabwean Vice Minister, Constantino Chiwenga, expressed concern calling the situation disturbing and urging Tanzania to uphold its legacy as a leader in the African liberation movement. Now, this is crazy to hear the Zimbabwean vice president calling upon Tanzania to uphold its legacy as a leader in African liberation movement.
Situation that has happened in Tanzania, quite disturbing, and is something which has got to be avoided at all costs. I believe Tanzania has come out of age. Tanzania is also the mother of all liberation movements. When we fought for our independence, we were all based in Tanzania. So to us, it is something that we wouldn't want to see, because we call Tanzania is our mother of all liberation movements. And I am quite convinced that they will be able to sit down, iron out their differences, and move forward.
Look, Zimbabwe is not necessarily the most respected country in Africa. I'm just going to be honest with you. No shade, okay? With all the respect to the Zimbabwean people that are very hardworking people, very smart. But the country itself, it's not very much respected. Now, hearing from the vice president of Zimbabwe saying that Tanzania, what you have done there, it doesn't represent you well. Like, you must uphold the legacy of the leaders of liberation, because Tanzanians are looked up to for their peacefulness, for their calm. Their leaders, like this man here, look, Julius Nyerere, very respected person. You see street across Africa named Julius Nyerere. Julius Nyerere is the same generation of the Lumumbas, the Kwame Nkrumahs, you know. So Tanzania is very much respected in terms of that. Now, I believe calm is back in Tanzania and internet is partially back as well. We just hope that things are going to go well and things are going to be right. It's very interesting because Tanzania, like any other African nation, has good and negative. Like some other places in the world, unfortunately, Tanzania also has some things that are not necessarily nice. Like albinism, how to deal with albinism. Unfortunately, in some areas, it is reported that people living with albinism are unalived. Yes, unalived because they are albinos. And it's basically people looking for their body part. Yeah, people looking for their body part because they believe that body part from albinos hold power. So they can bring you wealth, success, money, love, protection, election, and many other things. Yes, you heard me right, elections. So apparently during elections, a lot of albinos are taken out. And it's very sad. There's a sad story of a lady named Mariam. You know, she spoke out. She felt very threatened during these elections. She said, I know that the killing of the people with albinism happens especially at election time in Tanzania, when witchcraft beliefs intensify. That's why I don't take part in the campaign. I'm afraid. She doesn't go to elections because she knows witchcraft belief intensified during that time. It's just very sad. This is the reality of a lot of people in some African countries. A story is very, very sad. We're going to try to look into it. Read. Albinism, which affects an estimated 30,000 people in Tanzania, is a rare genetic condition that reduces melanin. You know what melanin is? Melanin is what makes you, probably, if you were like me, it gives you the dark peach to your skin. The pigment that gives you the color and the eyes and the hair. That's melanin. And when you don't have melanin, even though you're black, you don't necessarily look black as typically. The superstition has made those with the condition a target to people that believe that their body part will bring them luck and political success. So you can imagine a politician perhaps wanting to win the election, how many albino bodies he's going to use. So it's crazy. We're not pointing fingers at anybody. We're just saying this is fact in the country. Matter of fact, 2008 was the bloodiest year for people of albinism in Tanzania. As preparation for local election were underway, machete-wielding people stormed into the bedroom of this specific lady. They stormed into her bedroom in Karega, Northwestern Province region. They came at late hour at night and cut off her arm and cut off her legs. She was taken to hospital later on and she survived. I don't know how much I would want to leave if I found myself in a situation like that. Like no legs, no arms. Like, I thank God for the people that have the strength to continue, but I'll be devastated. So since 2008, 201 such incidents occurred in Tanzania.
Nikuja watu, kundi la wanaume, moja kwa moja wakaingia chumbani nilipokuwa nimelala na kuanza kunishambulia kwa mapanga. Wakakata mkono wa kulia, wakauondoa, wakakata na mkono wa pia wa kushoto. Nikisikia kipindi cha uchaguzi, kiukweli kinachokuja ndani yangu kwanza ni hofu.
So Tanzania is a beautiful place, but has some issues too. I mean, this is not limited to Tanzania, okay? There's a country named Madagascar right here, where you shouldn't wish to have twin babies. It's a place named Mananjari, yes. If you have twin babies, it's considered as a curse, as bad luck for the family. People are actually going to run away from you instead of embracing you for the achievement. People get very sad, very disappointed for having children that are twins, that are sometimes unalived. And I just believe it's only recently that they stopped doing that. And it's very, very sad. So the bottom line is there is a lot of work to be done in teaching people the right things. But you mustn't forget that in Europe, a few centuries ago, they were burning people accused of witchcraft. So they were just accused, that's one is a witch. Oh, take you and put you around a tree and they burn you with fire. Oh, she's a witch. They put you around the tree, they tie you up and they burn your feet in fire. In Europe, yeah. Now, are we late? Well, question mark. I don't know. You let me know how you feel about this. But on a good note, Tanzania is a beautiful place. I was there recently, met some of the most interesting people, very kind people, best experience. I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to be in Tanzania again, and I'm going to always talk positively about that country, even if it goes through some difficulties, which are absolutely normal for human beings. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure to talk to you. God bless.